Hey everybody, Scott Holden here. Before we get started with the show, I just want to take a minute to tell you where you can find us out on the interwebs. That's right. First, you can find us at thatmanonfatman.com. That's right, thatmanonfatman.com. It's the central hub and the place where you can find links to all the other stuff I'm about to tell you about. So we're on Twitter. You can find us there at thatmanonfatman. We are also on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, so it's facebook.com/thatmanonfatman. We're also on YouTube. On YouTube, you can find us at youtube.com/thatmanonfatman podcast. We are also on Instagram, where we're thatmanonfatman. And I believe we're even on, Snapchat, as That Man on Fat Man. So you can pretty much find us on That Man on Fat Man everywhere on the internet. Please friend us. Also, if you're an iTunes subscriber, please go and give us a review. It's very helpful. It's one of the best things you can do for any show that you enjoy. So leave us a review on iTunes. If you listen on Stitcher, we're also there. We're also on SoundCloud. So check those out, and we appreciate it. And now, we hope you enjoy the show.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and I want to urge you to make a generous donation to the Wayne Foundation so we can stop the sexual trafficking of children. Do it, or I'll find you.
And don't forget to check out our good friend of the show, Mark Live, over at chundertunes.com for all your podcast animation needs. That Man on Fat Man is recorded with a Zoom H6 handy recorder. Zoom. For creators.
Disclaimer. The show you're about to experience is for entertainment purposes only. The hosts use mature language and conversation just like in most of life. If you're too uptight, this might not be for you. All that said, we really do hope you enjoy the show. But if you don't enjoy it, expect a nice big shipment of my joyous Joker juice on your doorstep in the very near future. Toodles!
As the world's biggest Kevin Smith fan, I appreciate the fact that somebody finally made a podcast about that interesting motherfucker. So yes, you absolutely did the right thing. I know it's kind of gross for me to be like, yes, doing a Kevin Smith podcast was fucking smart. Yeah. But I do feel like it was smart. I appreciate it. I think you were right to do that.
Okay. What has two thumbs and is a huge fan of Kevin Smith? That man!
What are we going to do about the Pancake Master?
We need a costumed vigilante is what we need. Justice can't be served unless it's being fought outside the system.
Here's what we're going to do, eh?
Oh, shit. It's that man. Who is he? He's that man. He's talking. What should we do?
Oh, there he goes by in the Thatmobile.
The what? Thatmobile, his car. Go get him, that man.
Well, once upon a time, a regular man read a book written by the Fat Man. Tough shit, written by old Kev Smith. Kev said go out and start a podcast, and so I did, and I had a real blast. But my obsession was driving my co-host nuts. Didn't want to bring the podcast down. Needed Porkchop Murphy to hang around. So I created a new show with one heck of a plan, and I'd call that show That Man on Fat Man, because we're going to chat about Kevin Smith. That's right, let's talk about old Kev Smith. Hey, everybody, and welcome to this, episode 3-7 of Batman on Fat Man. I'm Scott Holden doing some weird voice because why the fuck not? I don't know. Just trying to, every day, every time what are we on? This is our third season. This is episode 7, and I'm just trying to do something to make things different, and I fell into this fucking weird thing, and so I just kind of
Marble mouth guy.
went with it. And without any further ado, here's the Smed lines.
Hello, this is Ben from the blog Indie Mac User with the Smedlines Roundup for the 12th of April 2016. And Kevin released news last week that the film Yoga Hosers will be premiering at the Brussels International Fantastic Film Festival. He also teased that news about a US tour and release will be coming in May. Also, good news for anyone that missed out on getting hold of a exclusive Yoga Hosers comic at the Sundance Film Festival. This special edition comic is now available to pre-order from midtowncomics.com. Also, it has been announced that Kevin will be one of the keynote speakers at the Promax BDA event in California. This is the leading association for promotion, marketing, and design professionals in the media marketing industry. That's the Smed lines for this week.
And there you go. Mr. Ben Gumry came in with the Smed lines
Yes.
already. So there, boom. Out of the way.
Out of the way.
Boom. Getting the... Hey, why don't we just fucking end the show now? And it's done. And we're out of the way.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I'm losing my mind. I'm going to take a big ship for my big Star Wars mug, though.
Yeah. Little Miss Cup.
Ah, yes. So wonderful to be here on this 3-7 episode.
So what have we done? We had lunch with Bob
Oh, yeah.
a couple days ago.
Yes, we did. We had lunch with Mr. Hawk. Talked about the albatross that is dragging on and on, like some sort of prison sentence that I like to call What's a Podcast?
A documentary film.
Yes. That I love, but yes.
I know. It's an albatross that we love.
Yeah, you start to... We're in that phase where, wow.
I know.
It's taking a long time.
It is.
But I guess, but also sort of we become habituated to that. I think
but then
that's been worn down. So the spirit has been grinded out of us, and now we just know it's taking a long time.
Well, but starting next week, things kind of like pick up a little bit.
That's true. That's true. We got some.
Yeah, and May picks up.
We have some
because
subjects
the NYC
that I wish we
podcast.
could announce, but we are back.
We may be able to announce
playing
one.
this game again.
There might be an announcement tomorrow.
We're also finally going to sit down with Frank Conniff as well.
I know.
Put him on celluloid, but well, actually put him on digital.
Check your Twitter feed tomorrow. There might be an announcement.
Yes, if we have an announcement,
Yes.
it'll drop tomorrow. In which case, well, no, because this show that'll be Wednesday.
Or
by the time they
Wednesday.
hear this, so it may have already happened. We may have already announced something. Waka waka. We're doing time travel, folks. So yeah, we got to hang out with Bob, catch up on things, and we'll talk about this a little bit on the guest with the guest today. And but it's just Bob's in a good space. He had some things going on that they had to fix. Some 90-pound gorillas on his chest, as it were.
And there were just things that were heavy on his
Just
shoulders.
life. Just
life
life stuff.
things. It's just like weigh you down
But he
and
feels
worry
like
you.
he's past those things.
And he was able to let them go and solve them, and he's feeling better. He's feeling
And now,
lighter and refreshed.
with the documentary going and all the
Yeah.
things that it's doing and the festivals that it's going to
Yep.
and the awards he stands to garner and all
Yeah.
that kind of good stuff. Yeah, so he's in a good space. And he's very much rooting us on,
Yes, he's
being a
very much
cheerleader.
Right.
He's pretty much also saying, I told you so. It does take a long time to do this.
Yeah, but not in that sort of way, though.
Yeah, no, he's not being...
No,
He's not being tooty.
No.
And also helping us out, There's still trying to get the man himself. So
Yes.
he gave us some advice. Reached out again to our Lord and Savior, Kevin Smith.
Mr. Smith. And we're waiting, I guess, for that.
Our guest this week is an old friend of the show, someone you've
Yeah.
heard on here before.
He's our uncle.
Yes, good old Uncle Stormy. I don't know how he became our uncle, but good old pal Stormy
Pal.
is. So you may have heard him recently on other podcasts.
Yeah, he's getting around.
Yes, and such as the Mr. BS show, and I think the Mr. BS show, and soon to be on From Ear to Table. But he's a great guy. We get a kick out of talking to him. He's a big comic book nerd. He's a big education fan, and that's how we sort of all came together.
Yeah, that's his big fave.
And if you go back and listen, there's been, like, I want to say it was December of 2014 or 2015, was it? I guess it's 2014.
Probably 14, yeah.
Somewhere in there, we did an education special. It was Storm Raven, the Anderson Council. Oh, I have to say, big shout out. Thank you for the artwork that you did. That was...
oh, my God.
Me as Bane is... I can't tell
I love
how
that.
it makes me.
I love Bane.
Yes,
I have a thing for Bane, I think.
Yes. Anyway, so thank you so much for the Bane stuff. I can't tell you. I mean, it was just like amazing, and I was just like,
that's a lovely, lovely voice.
So I was just like, wow. I'm very happy.
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan. It would be extremely painful for you.
So
for you.
All right. So yes, thank you for the artwork. And so it was a show with Storm Raven, Anderson Council, Midnight Smoke, and the Sean Bus. So and then Andy was on as well, and it was like a little mini education kind of show stuck in the middle of That Man on Fat Man. So check that out. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to our conversation. A lot of Batman talk. So if you saw...
Yes.
As just
Spoiler
like with
alert.
the internet, it's almost unavoidable at this point. It's the thing to talk about.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, so I feel you. So
Everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is if you're going to see a superhero movie, we'll go see... I'd rather see... What do you call it?
Civil War?
No. Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool. I want to see Deadpool.
Go see Batman v Superman again. But either way.
Deadpool's kind of sexy, though, too.
Yeah, it was a good movie, too. All the above.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And shocking. So many hetero males are so, oh my God, pegging. Oh, they're all,
really?
they all sound like squeamish little girls. So.
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah, they do. Trust me.
Really?
Tesdy. Even Kevin a little bit. I mean, Kevin and Mark were a little squeamish about it.
Were they?
Mark a little more than Kevin, as usual. Kevin's pretty much the sexual progressive. All right, where are we in the show?
We're
introducing our
guest.
Yes. So here we go. Here's without any further before I lose my mind some more. Hey, here's that voice again. You can call back. Here's Storm Raven. Hello.
Oh, there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
That was weird.
All right, thanks for playing.
That was weird because like those were just how to be queued up at the time. So
very cool.
I'm sure I deserve that.
They just sort of interrupted. I was sitting while I was sitting here waiting. I was like, well, let me grab some sound effects. So.
And you decided those would come in handy for me. Thank you, Scott.
Well timed,
brother.
It was very well timed on my part. How are you?
Oh, craptacular. How are you guys?
Mr. Stormraven, welcome back to the show.
Yes.
I'm so happy to meet your voices again.
Yes. How are you? I know you've been very busy. You've been on like a whole bunch of other podcasts and just living the life.
Yeah.
You're
How
a
crazy
pro.
is that? Andy said our names on his show, and now everybody has a podcast, I guess. And they treat us like celebrities. I mean, the one show, you talked to our friends at the Mr. BS show.
Yes.
And our friend Smokey's on the show now, and they put us on their list when they decided to do interviews. They put us, guys like you and me, on the list. And they're like, oh, you're celebrities to us. And I'm like, dude, I'm the furthest thing from a celebrity, but I understand that, podcasts, there's so many of them now. Everybody's scrambling for content. I'll help you out. I'll come in and say stupid stuff and if you can make something out of it, good on you. I'm glad I can help. But it's an honor, and it's so strange to me.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. We were tweeting back and forth. I'm like, holy shit, you hadn't been on the show in a while, so I figured let's get caught up. And that's the thing for me now. It's sort of like when I want to talk with friends or whatever. If we want to get down and dirty, it's like get on the show because then we can have some fun and record it for posterity later, and it's entertaining. But then there are people who are like, ooh, that's the last thing on their mind would be wanting to record. So it takes all kinds.
The thing I've learned, I don't know if you heard my so-called episode with the Mr. BS guys, but I'm basically the worst improvisational comedian you'd ever meet, but they're fun enough and forgiving enough that I just dropped all fear and dug myself into a hole. They encouraged me to get worse and worse, and the comedy came from I'm so bad. So people still got a chuckle out of it. So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is speaking of mentions lately. Did you happen to hear this one?
Scamby C. Scott. Police are responding to Blood Alley Square. Where's that?
Fuck.
I know.
Like Canadian Batman.
I know. There he is. It's that man standing over Blood Alley Square, protecting us all.
I love that the other day.
Oh my God.
I saw the guy that tweeted that to Kevin, and that was my response. I'm like, Blood Alley Square sounds like it's halfway between Bloodhaven and Gotham.
Yeah,
it's be, right?
Yeah, it is kind of
so cool.
But that is, I guess, somewhere up there in Canada, eh?
Oh my God.
I'm sure there's a Tim Hortons in the area.
Yeah. Well, are you a Canadian file? A Canadian file?
My grandma, who I frequently speak about, not too much on podcasts, but she is from Canada. So one half of my whole family is technically Canadian. Grandma taught me the proper pronunciation is Canadian.
Canadian.
And she was from the Newfoundland. She was from Newfoundland.
Oh, she was from the Newfoundland.
Except it's pronounced the Newfoundland.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
I can't even pronounce it that way.
Wow.
Well, Grandma didn't have any teeth. She pronounced a lot of things different. But she could gnaw the corn off a cob, I'll tell you, better than you and me with choppers.
I bet. Damn straight.
So have you been up on your edumacation of late, sir?
I have been following as much as they've been doing.
Yeah, which is not as much. Did you see the other day, though? Andy was out there saying, hey, I'm putting together a new show.
I did see that. And if I can segue into that, I asked him to register the Edumacation podcast with the Podcast Awards this year. It's the same podcast that TESD won way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
They've changed some rules. So Andy's got to register his podcast, and he's got to pay a $10 fee. I told him I'd reimburse that and handle all marketing for him.
You can do a Kickstarter for it.
Yeah, the
for
whole
the $10. Yes, exactly.
But I think Andy's a great guy. I'm sure you agree with me. And the dude's been working in TV for decades, doesn't have an Emmy, he's done movies, doesn't have an Oscar. Let's get him a podcast award because now that's the new stage of his life. And you've seen the picture of his office, right? What he calls his office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a 10-foot long closet that's 4 feet wide and it's packed full of crap. There's no trophies in there. Let's get the kid a trophy.
Yeah.
And then when he's sitting at his little computer, he can see that trophy and know we care. And
I think he knows we care.
He should have more than one.
But I agree. I think there are more accolades. I just don't think we're quite there. We're not at the tipping point of edumacation fans. We don't even have a name for ourselves, do we? Do edumacation fans have a name for themselves?
We were edumateers way back in the day.
Edumateers? Was that what it was? I don't even remember.
Cute.
He said that a couple of times, yeah.
The edumateers.
Edumateers.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of like Rocketeer.
If you guys can put in a word with Miss Tesdy Groupie, though, she's deep in the ant colony.
Yes, she very much is.
As we have seen many, many times, the ants get what the ants want. So
They pretty much do, yeah. They're brats.
They swarm. It's swarm theory.
It works every time, so why change it? You know?
Yeah.
But if you watch my Twitter feed, I'm going to keep track of it. The nominations start April 15th through the 30th, and then voting starts after that. They've changed the format, so there's some judging involved.
Which group is this for? Is this for, like, the original podcast awards sort of thing?
Yeah, apparently it's changed hands. It's got some backing. They got a Kickstarter to revamp the whole thing. I think they're giving out actual checks. If Andy were to get a check, I bet that he'd put it on that goldfish cartoon you guys want. So, I'll tweet links to you guys when it's time to go. We'll nominate them. We'll vote him up. There's a link on their webpage for volunteer listeners, which I applied for. And don't get me wrong. Andy wants us to play by the rules. It's not against the rules to be a volunteer listener, and if you happen to be assigned to listen to Edumacation and you see it in a favorable light, that's not against the rules. So,
or
not telling you do that. I'm just saying totally do that.
Yeah.
Not that I have any, I love Edumacation, have no problem nominating them. But I'm going to have to nominate myself in there, too.
Pick a spot, man. Let's get it rolling.
I'm sure I would fall under entertainment. I'd be in the entertainment category, if there is one.
I'm suggesting we throw Andy in Edumacation because he's got less heavy hitters.
Oh, yeah, definitely would be an Edumacation. I can't even say it. An education podcast for Edumacation.
Because if you look at their sports category, ESPN gets like 6 nominations for 6 different shows, and they've got millions of downloads. We got to get Andy somewhere where he's dealing with somebody on his own level,
Right.
not punching above his weight class.
But then you might he might run into like Star Talk.
Right, that could happen. Or
Which would,
NPR.
Yeah, well, there's tons of NPR. But NPR could go all over the place.
So we'll give him what we got, and I'd love to see that guy get a trophy, and I know he'd
Oh,
appreciate
that's
it.
sweet.
That's the thing. So
He
anybody
should
out there can help me out.
should-
Don't help me out. Help Andy
help
out.
Andy.
We should try and work up another Edumacation show like we did that other time. Only
That was
we
so
should
much
actually
fun.
try and do it ourselves this time. So we prepare it up front.
So he can just kick back and relax.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Oh, that's right.
That was supposed to be
Yes,
the
he
idea the
was-
first time, but it didn't really work out.
Andy's a swell guy, but he's wound so tight. If you put a lump of coal in his ass, you'd have a diamond in a week.
Yes,
so
that's
he's
very
not
true.
going to give you that much control.
Uh-huh.
Well, if we did it up front and we sent it to him, then it might be easier. You know what I mean? Like if we come up with the script and we send it to him, then he
likes to
what's the worst he
prepare.
could do? He could just punch it up. As a
Now
joke
I
writer,
follow.
I wouldn't mind.
Now I follow you. That might work.
Yeah, then
He just likes to prepare. That's all. He
Yeah,
likes to be
yeah, yeah.
prepared and ready, and
maybe
he
we
wants to
can
do it right.
we could bring in Bane.
I love Bane.
I love Bane too.
There's
Bane's
some-
that's like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that show, it became Bane.
I really had my heart set on instead of the goldfish, he was going to do an animated Bane stand-up bit.
Oh my
I love
god.
that.
I did a little one. It's on YouTube using an action figure and some of the I think about 2 minutes of. I mean, what do you really need to do with? How do you animate Bane? He's got a thing over his face. How much of a superhero guy are you?
I grew up reading comic books.
That's right.
I
You're the
had-
one who suggested that I read the Marvel book or listen to the Marvel book, which I got about halfway through.
It's kind of political and yeah, businessy.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, but it does get dry. It probably has more to do with the reader, because the reader's a little more just sort of, I'm a reader of books.
Yeah. He's not putting a lot of stank on it.
Yeah, not like there's much to sink your teeth into. I mean, like you're talking about, when what guy did what. But,
Grandma used to babysit me a lot, and she had a stack of comic books to keep me occupied. So I would look at the pictures, and then when I started learning how to read in first grade, I went right back to that stack of comic books again and started going through picking out the words I knew. And it's amazing, the medium, I knew the story even before I could read, just from the artwork conveying the story to me. I didn't know the exact, I couldn't pick up all the nuances of the soliloquies, but that came later. And
That's
then
the beauty of
more-
comics.
The more I could pick up words, the more I read them, and then I just ended up being an excellent reader from reading comic books all the time.
Isn't that funny?
That's so great.
All right, we want to take a moment to talk about Death Wish Coffee. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and get over to deathwishcoffee.com. And there you can buy the strongest coffee known to man without a prescription.
The world's strongest coffee ever.
Yes, as proudly displayed on my wife's sweatshirt over there.
Yes, on my body,
Yes.
on my mug,
Yes,
on
it's
my
on my mug.
K-cups. Not
Yes, and you'll know them by their telling sign of the skull and crossbones.
It's
that tells
so
you
good.
exactly what you're in for. It's that used to be the international symbol for poison, but now it is the symbol for good damn coffee.
It's awesome. Without milk, with milk, you don't really need it because it's strong.
But
It's
not bitter?
Not bitter. So you don't even need milk. You don't even need sugar, but you can add it if you'd like. It's just really, really the perfect, strongest, most awesome coffee.
Become a junkie of Death Wish, just like the Anderson Council. And
we got him hooked.
again, deathwishcoffee.com. Thank you very much.
Enjoy it.
I want to take this time to mention to you www.audibletrial.com/thatmanonfatman. That's right, www.audibletrial.com/thatmanonfatman. That's one word, conjunctified. Go there, sign up for your free 30-day free trial. Sign up, get a free book, a free audiobook, because you don't have to go through no tedious reading. You don't have to turn no fucking pages. You don't have to do any of that bullshit. You get in your car, you put on your headphones, and you are listening to a book. You're taking a magical journey into a fictitious land. You're expanding your mind, all when you're stuck in traffic. Fucking amazing. Audiobooks. These are the wave of the future. And you can get in for free for 30 days. A free trial. And when you get your free trial, you can download a copy of Tough Shit by our Savior, Kevin Smith. That's right. Our Lord and Savior, Kevin Smith, has left words for us to follow in our lives, and we can get it for free just by signing up to audibletrial.com/thatmanonfatman. That's right. audibletrial.com/thatmanonfatman. Thank you. Please sign up. You'll be very happy you did. You must have opinions on all these new movies that are upon us, such as, did you see Batman v Superman?
Opinions are like assholes.
Yes.
And so am I.
Yes.
So, yes, I have an opinion.
Yes. I think you were on the positive side of Batman v Superman, if I recall.
I'm kind of like where you're at. I didn't hate it. I can't hate it, but I couldn't like it. And then I cut the movie a lot of slack. So I paid $15 and I don't want my money back, but I know Zack Snyder listens to this show. So Zack Snyder, you owe me $5 and we'll call it good. Because I would have happily paid $10, but I think 15 was too steep.
It reminds me of the Clerks scene in the Clerks cartoon. I think it's one of the last 3 episodes where Randall starts getting directors to give his money back.
Oh yeah.
From Judge Reinhold. Anyway, so okay, go on. I cut you off. I think we can talk details now. I mean, we're a few weeks in. We can start to spoil.
Yeah, I mean, let me state this out. I saw the Wall Street Journal article, and I want to put everyone to thinking this. The first Wall Street Journal article was that the movie made like $700 million the first week. And then the second Wall Street Journal article was like, it dropped off 68%, so people think it sucks. Here's the thing. If there's 100 people want to see that movie and 100 people see it the first week, who's going to see it the second week? So the second article, I think, was unfair to them.
Yeah. Well, what it meant was there wasn't a lot of repeat watchers.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like Star Wars. Episode 7, I went twice in the first 2 days. Yeah.
I know people, though, that saw The Phantom Menace 5 times because it was a status symbol who saw Star Wars the most.
Yeah.
Oh, God. You had to torture yourself to sit through that one.
But it was more the status symbol who's the biggest Star Wars fan.
Right.
So.
I think you should get some sort of badge if you sat through the Attack of the Clones more than once in a theater, paid for it, and like bamboozled yourself that you got your money's worth somehow. Convinced yourself that the Yoda lightsaber battle was worth sitting through the previous 90 to 100 minutes of whatever it was prior.
You got the figurative scars, you might as well get the figurative Purple Heart.
Yes. Plus you need a fucking diagram, and like to plot that thing out is nuts. It's almost as hard as plotting out the plot in Batman v Superman.
Where do you want to start on this? You want to disassemble it?
Well, I don't know if you can. I guess you can, because it's sort of, I felt it was kind of built like any, mousetrap type game, Rube Goldberg kind of shit where you're, excuse me, assembling like pieces. It's like you're grafting pieces on to make it more complicated.
And that's part of the problem. I think the studio kept changing direction of what they wanted to do.
I think there's
a big flaw. They're like, let's do a Superman sequel, but nobody cares, so let's put Batman in it. Well, now we're going to use it as a Justice League, but wait, that's too much. Go back and just make it those two guys, but we already shot Wonder Woman. Okay, leave that. We'll put the other guys in it, but not too much.
It's a
now
prequel.
It's a 6-hour movie.
Because he just sort of cherry-picked neat moments,
Which is why I can't hate the movie, because there's a lot in there for comic book fans.
Yeah, like you have the great shot of Batman up there with the rifle. It's looking very, Dark Knight, the classic scene.
Yeah, a lot of iconic images, the Robin costume, the death of Superman, and that's another thing I think is flawed about it, is they just tried to pack too much stuff in there.
Yeah, and they dropped that Robin thing in there, and from what I'm hearing, or bits and pieces, so the Robin that you're going to see in Suicide Squad is probably, the Joker that you're going to see in Suicide Squad probably has a Robin origin.
I've cut the movie a lot of slack because I don't like the killy Batman.
No, I don't like that
Batman
either. He's way too stabby. And the only moment I really liked, and I like some people gave me shit for liking it, was where he's like, "I'm a friend of your son," because that felt like the closest to what it should be in the movie, but it wasn't, because. Yes, granted, 5 minutes before he was trying to stab him in the heart.
Overall, I sent a tweet out, and this is my overall feeling on it. If Superman accidentally kills thousands to save the world, and Batman intentionally kills hundreds to save the world, who's the hero? Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
because she didn't kill anybody, and when Batman does a stupid move and leads... Oh, there's so many ham-fisted moves in there. They're in a totally uninhabited area. Okay, thanks.
and you know how everybody got pissed about Martha?
Yeah.
But here's my thing about that. Really? At that point, you're going to gripe about that? Because that was as good a reason as any at that point. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, that almost made more sense. The movie was, the whole thing at that point was so why are they really fighting? Why is he trying to kill him? What's going on? This seems so contrived. What the fuck is going on with Lex? Every time he opened up his mouth to run dialogue, it was confusing and stupid. And I would turn to my kids and go, what did he really just say? Analyze that. Did he say anything at all? He just said a bunch of fucking contrived statements, flowery language to sound smart, but he didn't sound smart. He sounded stupid.
I think the editing process, they lost a lot of the connective tissue between scenes, because Superman knows Batman is Bruce Wayne. And if there's a scene that connects that, I didn't remember it. I mean, Luthor makes a vague statement about how you send some articles to somebody, but Clark Kent didn't see those articles. Only Bruce Wayne and his staff did. So there's no straight line you can draw to that. There's other plot holes, like Lex Luthor wants to talk to Superman, so he chucks Lois Lane off a roof.
Yes.
But he kidnapped Superman's mom, so he knows who Superman is. Why didn't he just call him at his desk?
That's true, too. Oh, yeah, I agree. That's why I never really understood. I think Mark Bernardin said it best. He's like, okay, I mean, we know that ultimately the plot was to get Superman to die, but explain how his plan was supposed to achieve that. You know what I mean? Like, people gave... that's just it. The thing that I found more irritating after the fact was that there was a certain type of fan out there that had, like, an expectation that this was going to be, I guess, some sort of bat orgasm. And so no matter what happened, that's what they got. And if you brought up anything, they got all upset. Because, like you said, I didn't hate it. But then when I came outside and wanted to seriously talk about its flaws, just because I like to do that, like, then you get shit. I was like, oh, God, this is stupid.
Well, again, I couldn't hate it because there's so much stuff there for a comic book fan. But if you're an average viewer that only knows this from the movies, first off, entirely too many dream sequences. It's not Nightmare on Elm Street, so knock it off.
Yeah, there are. It opens.
But again, I'll cut the movie slack if it pays off later. If all of these bat dreams are Darkseid manipulating dreams, which Darkseid doesn't do in the comics, but he can build alternate realities and trap you in them, then it makes sense because Batman sees the Flash. If it's not paid off in a future movie, I'm pissed because Batman's psychic because he doesn't know who the Flash is at this point. Oh my God. So I got to cut them slack. They're foreshadowing, or they're not, and I'm mad.
I'm going crazy over here.
Okay.
And if it's a dream, we know this. Batman's always Batman. Bruce Wayne is the mask he puts on, the thin veneer of civilization he wears. It's always ready to crack so he can walk among the rest of us. Even in his dream, he's going to be Batman. So, trust me, Batman knows how to use guns. I fully expect him
Oh, my
to be
God.
proficient.
Yeah, he sure did, didn't he?
But he's not going to use them because he's Batman. Except that this Batman, and again, I'm trying to cut the movie some slack. Maybe this happened right after Robin got beat to death because Alfred says, so the rules have changed, sir. So maybe Batman's like, I keep putting these people in jail. They keep getting out. They just killed my little boy.
Yeah, Batman was sort of on a fucking, like there was not a lot redeeming there.
And apparently, I mean, I'm hoping that it pays off and he goes back on the other side of the line. But maybe now he's like, the only way to stop these motherfuckers from fucking people's mothers is to kill them.
Yeah.
And then he'll come back on the other side of the line in the next movie. I don't know. But this is the only Batman I've seen leave the house with homicide in his heart. There's only one reason to make a spear, and that's to stab somebody.
Yeah, right through their heart, which he was damn close to doing.
Why are you saying
Martha?
Somebody tweeted me an image from the '89 Batman and said, "I'm sure this was premeditated," and it's the Michael Keaton Batman lining up the Joker in the crosshairs. And I said, come on, with all that technology and thousands of bullets, you think he missed them by accident? Those are warning shots, man. This Batman does an epic strafing run, hits everything he's aiming at, and kills dozens of people. I'm hoping it pays off later. Like I said, I'm cutting the film a lot of slack because they're trying to lay the groundwork for the future movies. And it's a lot of heavy lifting. So.
Well, yeah, that was pretty much my feeling out of it was, well, you know what? Here's what I'll say. The Batman looks like the Batman I like. He feels, but just the killing and the anger. And so what we've done is set up a good Batman-Alfred dichotomy. Now, if we can make that more Batman-like and just forget that this kind of happened, I'll be very happy.
I just thought of another plot hole. Superman shows up in Congress. the building blows up.
Yeah, what was that? And then, but then they don't blame him?
I was just going to say that. Obviously, that was done to blame Superman, and 2 seconds later, it's on the news. Superman was not involved in this. How the hell do you know?
Yeah, that was very weird. And why was that there? And that mess.
That's why I think it had bad editing, and people are saying the plot's hard to follow. If you don't know the storylines they're showing you, you can't follow it. If you don't have that line that draws between those two things, you can't follow it. So, yeah, the whole story was kind of choppy. Now, Luther, I know you're not a fan.
Oh, totally not. That was the worst part of the fucking movie. They should, you know what? Here's the thing. Zack Snyder should have went with his first instinct. He fucking like second guessed himself. Probably had some executives up his ass. Go younger on Luther. And what they got was the shittiest Luther ever.
Let me ask you this, and treat this fairly. If that was a different character, just created for this movie, and the tone was lighter, would you have been okay with that performance?
There is nothing. Unless he was called the Riddler, and then the only thing I would say is he was just as bad, because there are other ways to do the Riddler. He doesn't just have to be goofy Jim Carrey, which is goofy Joker anyway. I mean, they're all doing Joker.
My big problem with Luther is he's so incongruent to the rest of the film. All the colors are muted, the lighting is dark, and everyone's dour. Then every time Jesse Eisenberg shows up, he's manic, he's in bleached white clothes with really bright tennis shoes.
Actually, he's in his class. He's also in a lot of purples and greens, which are his colors, but because of his performance, he's coming off like Joker.
And it takes you right out of the moment. It doesn't fit with everything else that's
going on. And he's got
on.
Hair, because, we
Luther
can't have him bald.
Hair.
I know, he did. He originally was a mad scientist with red hair.
So I'd have been fine with that performance in a different film or as a different character, but it just knocked me out of there. Another thing that knocked me out of the moment, Ben Affleck as Batman, it's not his fault. It's Ben Affleck. And directors love him. He's amicable. People like him. He's got a great personality. He always gives you a solid performance. You know what you're going to get. He's Ben Affleck, but every time I see him on screen, I'm like, Affleck.
I see.
And
not
he's
me.
Batman.
Not me. I say fucking Bruce Wayne, because he looks like Bruce. See, to me, Batman's the suit and can be a stuntman, can be a fucking CGI guy. Let's face it. Batman is all about who's playing Bruce Wayne, and he did a great job as Bruce Wayne. He looks Bruce Wayne like, and he's at the right age now too. He's got the more older gravitas. So
he did bring more weight than I thought he could. I liked him better than I expected, and they threw the gray at his temples, and he tried to darken it up. But I'm sorry, I've seen Affleck so many times. He doesn't.
It's going to be better though when he directs it, when he directs a Batman movie, because he knows Batman much better than I'm sure Zack Snyder. That's my opinion.
Time will
And plus,
tell.
he's writing with Jeff Johns.
Well, Jeff Johns gets much respect from me. I've read a lot of his books.
Yeah. I liked his Aquaman a lot. So what did you think? Did you watch Daredevil?
I saw the first season of Daredevil,
You have
and
not
because
seen
I live
season
out here in the
2.
sticks and I'm on wireless internet, if I stream Daredevil, I'm done with my usage for the month. So I'm trying to find somebody that can pirate it for me. I saw the first season and commented heavily on that on Facebook, but from all intents and purposes...
Wait a minute. Well, how come you don't just get on Scott Schiaffo's Netflix like everyone else?
Good call.
Scott Schiaffo.
I still have to stream it, though. I still have to stream it over my internet.
Oh,
But by all
okay.
counts and purposes, John Bernthal is the man.
Where are you that your internet's so weird?
I'm out in the sticks, dude. I have to send you my address. I'm in the deep jungles of northern Maryland. My neighbor is a 2,000-acre nature preserve on two sides, and across the street is about 80 acres of farmland. So there's 3 cable companies around me, and they all stop 2.5 miles away, because if they keep coming, they only get like 12 more customers, and it'll take 1,000 years to pay off the time and material.
You're out there in the boonies listening to podcasts.
Oh, here's another plot hole. I mean, I know I sound like I'm hating.
No, but see, that's the funny thing. Like I said, I walked out saying I didn't hate it, but I have to be honest about it too. I mean, don't sit there and tell me there's no fucking problems with this movie, because there's tons.
I'm gonna get it on disc and I'm gonna watch it again. But in the beginning, Superman saves Lois faster than a speeding bullet, right? So fast we can't see him. Correct?
Yep.
Pretty much.
Remember the first movie? Everybody was like, why didn't you just save your dad? Nobody even would have seen you.
Yeah.
And now they just did it.
Yep, pretty much.
Punches a hole in the last one.
And then, wait a minute. Then Kevin Costner showed up in this one, too.
Oh, God.
And why?
Another dream sequence.
And what was that what was the moral of that story? Why was Dad there? To tell him that Dad killed somebody once, or whatever the fuck it was? Whatever dark tale he told?
I'm always going to have a problem with this version of the universe, because we have preconceived notions of the characters. Like I said, I don't like the stabby Batman. I don't like the Superman. My Superman landed in the Midwest and was raised by God-fearing, simple country folk, and that's why he has that moral compass. He's a big blue Boy Scout, right?
Yep, exactly.
And this guy is not a big blue Boy Scout.
No, he's a scared alien born in terrorist thinking Zack Snyder's mind,
who has about 3 facial expressions. And I know Gene's here, and I'll take your side, Gene. He is the most incredibly handsome man in the world.
Actually, she's not all that into this Superman.
No,
she actually likes Superman Returns. Superman.
This guy, Henry Cavill, is either had plastic surgery, or is proof that God exists, because that is not a random collection of features.
He is, he is pretty nice.
I mean, yeah, he's a handsome guy, but
absolutely. But
I don't know
he's
that.
not rock my boat.
Here's the weirdest thing about him: if a human face is not symmetrical, if you take a mirror and put it perpendicular into a picture of Henry Cavill, both sides, and reflect his left side of his face back to. So you're only looking at his left side twice. It's symmetrical. He looks the same. You can't do that with a human being. So maybe he really is an alien.
He's perfect.
Or maybe he's an android.
He's perfection.
I know he opens his mouth. He puts me to sleep.
See, I think Captain America's perfection.
Oh, my God, yes.
You want me to keep going on plot holes? I know I sound like I'm hating on this movie. But
No, it's fine. If you got another plot hole, throw it out.
Here's one. Superman picks up the spear and goes, I'm dying. I got an idea. Why don't you give it to Wonder Woman? Because she don't sweat no kryptonite, and she's the only person on the screen that has probably handled a spear before. She's obviously a primitive weapons expert.
Yes.
So give it to her, you know?
Yep. Indeed.
Lois Lane.
But why would you give it to her? She's a girl.
She's a girl. They won't give it to Wonder Woman. Everybody handled that spear except the one person that could use it.
And the hottest chick in the movie, too.
Here's what I'll tell you I liked about that scene is Superman did the Uther Pendragon Mordred death from Excalibur. He dragged himself down to shove the spear through, which tells me Batman and Superman both saw Excalibur when they were little kids.
Well, they threw that in the movie. That's the movie he was seeing.
Yeah, they told us Bruce was there, but now we see that Clark was there too. He saw the same movie.
See, I love that because I love Excalibur. That's one thing I did love.
That was my favorite part of the whole scene. I'm like, Clark saw Excalibur too.
Right before that's the last movie. That's the movie that ruined his life. Oh, you know what? He's never gonna love that movie now.
That's an R-rated movie, though.
Yeah,
so
I know.
They both had poor parents if they took him to see that when they were 8.
Yeah, they probably walked out when he was fucking the woman in the armor. Maybe that's when they had to decide they had to leave. You know. By that I mean the man is in armor and fucking a woman.
It was magic. You remember? What's her name did some magic.
Dude, my parents did the same thing. I saw that movie
in armor. Your parents fucked in armor. Your parents.
No. My parents took me to see that thing, and I remember that scene like being kind of like scarred. Not scarred, but being like, "Oh my god, this is intense. I've never seen anything like this before."
This is weird, but strangely arousing.
Yes, and then the other guy's fucking falling on the spear thing and dying, and these two are fucking, and they're intercutting between the two.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's all go watch Excalibur. when we-
Excalibur's
Now I
amazing.
wanna
I can
watch
always watch it. I can always watch Excalibur.
I think I want to watch that after.
The problem is, like, Excalibur starts out great. First 2/3 are great. The last third is really slow. And the end is just, it just kind of, it doesn't end as strong as it began.
Oh, I'm not going to disagree with you on that, but
Well, it seems like once the circle is, once they've got that round table formed, it's like all downhill.
yeah, it climaxed early. That seemed to be the climactic scene, but they still got a plot to the end of the epic tale.
Yeah,
so-
and I love all of Ooh, now that I'm soundbite collecting, I'm going to collect up Merlin because I love Merlin in that.
yeah,
He says some
Merlin.
great stuff, especially Adal Nathrach Uth Hathbeta Dath Yel Neanve. The charm of making.
I can't believe you can recite that.
What is it?
Adal Nathrach Uth Hathbeta Dath Yel Neanve. And I don't even know if that's right. That's just phonetic.
It's
That's
pretty
just
close.
that's what you hear.
And I believe it's
What does
old.
it mean?
It's old English. And I don't know what it means. But that's apparently where they took that from. It's an old English chant of something. And by old English, I'm talking like, Saxon or whatever the fuck it was.
Probably means help. There's a pig in my kitchen or something like that.
Now I'm curious.
God, don't I sound really? These people think I sound really smart right now.
Now I want to know what it means. We'll have to figure that out later.
You know what? We have the Google thing. So it looks like Anal Nachrach Uth Bath. I don't even know how. It's like there are a lot of. It's BHA with a little thing over it.
Okay.
And then IS apostrophe S.
Usted tiene una cara como puerco. That's how you
very
say it.
Good.
So what it means is breath of serpent, spell of death and of life, thy omen of making. That's what it means. It's 3 parts. Anal Nathrach, breath of serpent, Uth Bath Bethad, spell of death and of life, and then Doth Tiel Dienfe, or wherever they say it. It's thy omen of making. There you go. It's Old English.
Ah.
So
I know I'm all over the map, but I'm going to hit you with another Batman v Superman odd moment.
We're gonna need
And I'm
some
not
editing.
sure this is a flaw because it's in comic books. We see Superman in almost every movie, including this one, float around in the vacuum of space, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So he doesn't have to breathe.
True.
So why is he breathing in kryptonite gas? Why is he breathing at all?
Yeah.
Stop
well,
breathing,
okay.
Superman.
How about this? First movie, breathing all the time, and that's why he has to learn to get his center.
Is it an autonomic response because he had to breathe on Krypton as a baby and now he does it? Otherwise, why didn't he? Don't even hold your breath when the kryptonite gas comes out. Just stop breathing. Stop breathing. You don't ever have to breathe again. Stop.
And I thought they revamped that in continuity that he does need to breathe. And so
Well,
therefore,
how
when he
did he
goes to
float
space, he
in-
does need a helmet. But I guess they undid that again.
Yet he didn't in this movie because we saw him grow old, which is also an iconic image from another comic book that we saw when he got nuked.
That's also like they had to do because remember they would always try and explain if Superman like pulls a ship out of the water. Technically, he couldn't do that because the ship would crack in half under its own weight.
Yeah, it has to be tactical telekinesis that holds it all together.
Yeah, it's like it's a super aura or whatever, essentially extending out to the ship.
But I mean, I'll suspend its belief for all of that. And again, like I said, I didn't hate the movie. I couldn't like it, but I liked a lot of parts about it.
Yeah, that's the way I felt. I mean, I didn't hate it. I mean, overall, it had a lot of problems. And, it was fun. It was, it tried to be a roller coaster ride but also I felt like I saw everything that was cool in the trailers up front, which I hate. Because it's like, so if I already saw everything cool in the trailer, why do I need to see the movie?
I mean, fight scenes were cool. That desert scene, Batman's a slayer. If you want a Batman killer, he was a slayer, was he not?
Yes, but saw that in the trailer.
And then the scene in the warehouse. And
Saw in the
somebody can
trailer.
correct me if they've seen it more than I have. He did use a rifle, but I think he cut over everybody's head to make them duck. And then it was an awesome ass-kicking scene. I don't know about y'all, but I like some ass-kicking. So
Yeah, I also remember a lot of it being confusing. You know, it just felt like confusing bits in between set pieces. You know what I mean? That's really what it was. It was confusing stuff to get you into set pieces.
yeah, it was like I said, it seemed to be missing connective tissues, like a lot of scenes, and they forgot to tie them all together. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut it slack if they pay off stuff later on. So
I'll still see Suicide Squad because I think what's her name's the sexiest thing on the planet right now. Shoot.
she was in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Margot.
Yeah, Margot. That's right. She's
I
a
don't
honey.
remember her name, but I'll see that too. I'm down with Jared Leto's Joker. I like the look.
Yeah,
If
me
they're gonna
too.
Do something different.
But you know what?
That's
They've done
different.
They've done him in the comics that way, kind of. I've seen the tattooed Joker before, and I've seen he's kind of also the David Bowie Joker, you know. So
The Bolin Joker.
yeah, he's kind of whose Joker was it that was all tattooed and badass with long hair?
That I don't remember, but I remember the Bolin Joker had the David Bowie type hair.
Yeah.
He sang into a microphone and
That's
stuff.
probably the one.
Well, yeah, you could also say that what's his name was that the Dark Knight Batman is very, Bowie-esque, androgynous. I'm talking Miller. Miller's Joker is very androgynous, and he has the white jacket and all that. Very 80s.
I'm down with the 80s.
Let's dance.
Yes.
The Let's Dance Joker.
Miami Vice.
So
But yeah,
what's up
then-
with you folks? You've been globe trotting, traveling the globe, and hobbing and nobbing with celebrities.
Well, I got to go up to Canada, and we got to hang out with Bob the other day.
Yes, we did.
We get to catch up with
And
Bob.
that was
And there's a lot. It's very cool because he's in a very good place. He's in a very happy place.
And it's just wonderful.
Yeah, he's like, and he just got over there was some stumbling blocks that he had to get over in his life, and he's over those hurdles now, and he's very happy.
He's just free.
Yeah,
and
there's good stuff coming for him this year with his
he's light.
the documentary and all that stuff. So
He's finally getting some recognition, richly
Oh, yes.
deserved.
yeah,
Absolutely.
he really is.
is.
This year's there's going to be some big surprises, I think.
Yeah.
If you follow what's going on with Bob. Interesting. I don't remember. Did I say on the show last week that they knew Malcolm?
No, I didn't. See, I didn't know that. I wanted to know more about that, so you can talk about it now.
Yeah.
So, Scott Thompson knows
And-
Malcolm Ingram.
Yes, and
Scott Thompson from Kids of the Hall.
yes,
Okay.
and Paul Bellini. Paul
And
Bellini, I think, might
I
even.
loved-
I get the vibe that Paul Bellini knew him a little more.
Okay, so they both know Malcolm.
Yeah, and
Ingram.
Paul Bellini seemed to be very much more like a man of the people, or he is out and about more. He's very,
Yeah.
he's much more.
Like a man about town.
Yeah. He's louder. He's actually
Ah.
he's loud.
Well, Scott Thompson
he's
seems
more
very reserved.
I was gonna say he's more gregarious in some respects
know.
than Scott Thompson. Scott Thompson seemed more reserved, at least in our encounter. Maybe not so much behind closed doors or whatever.
I'm a huge Scott Thompson fan.
But again, as soon as Scott got the mic in front of him,
Huge.
he turns on. So
Yes.
it's a different.
He's such a character.
Yes.
Scott Holden throwing out the word gregarious to prove he paid attention in junior high school.
Yes.
He really did.
It's a good word. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
I would have used it extroverted, but you gotta give props to junior high school. It's cool.
It's
I'm
actually-
just busting your balls.
It's actually more that I like. They might be giants, and they use vocabulary like that in their songs.
I love.
I like Offspring for that same reason. They use words in songs normal people don't use in conversation, and I know they only know 3 chords. So don't
like
tell
them.
me. I
I
already
like
know.
Offspring.
And I know that Kevin Smith kind of had a habit of doing that as well.
That's
Certainly in
true.
Clerks.
Yeah, he did. You're right.
So you shot so much footage. I don't envy you. What is the editing process like? Is it just all day, every day?
Well, it's funny you mentioned what was it, 2 days ago? No, Friday. So Friday, I finally finished loading all the footage into the database, the editing database. So
Gotta be hours upon hours upon hours.
It came out to be 1.2 terabytes. It's probably, it's over 30 hours so far.
Yeah, because you've been around now collecting it. So
well, we've had 29 shoots, what I call 29 shoots, but on some of those shoots we have multiple guests or subjects. So so we have well over 30 subjects by now. I'd like to have at least 50.
have you started the editing process, or
to some degree? What I started doing actually now is I started cutting some raw footage, some like highlights that I liked, because people would go, "Hey, you got any? I'd really like to see something." So I just had a little thing that I had on my phone. It's like turns out to be like 10 minutes long. But I'm probably going to cut that more, and it'll be the next trailer. So
that's good though, because that lets everybody know that you're on it. It's coming. It's real, and it also cements it in your head.
Oh yeah.
It's there. It's coming.
That's
it's
the
real.
thing. That's the thing that I probably do more.
It's cemented
is
big
watch
time.
footage for spotting the things that I like, things I know I'm going to pick up. That to me is in this process is more helpful than just cutting. It's really you got to get to know the footage.
Because remember, you're not too long ago, you're just a kid off the streets of Jersey, and now you're a film director. And
I'm a filmmaker.
Sometimes it might seem overwhelming or
God.
surreal.
Yes.
And Uncle Stormy's just here to remind you it is real, Scott.
I know.
And when you cut that stuff and see it, and it's tangible, and you're holding it in your hands, you're doing this, you're going to do this. And
You never actually hold it in your hands. It's digital. So it's always going in your little
computer. Take away my pep talk. I'm Bear Bryaning your ass right now. I'm Vince Lombardi all over you.
Oh please! I don't respond well to that. That's not my.
sweet.
That's not my love language.
Oh well. This is what you get, But we're behind you, and we're confident you're going to do this and finish this. So if you ever think it's too much and it's too overwhelming, it's not. Don't try to eat a whale in one bite.
Oh yeah. And that's sort of. I don't know if it's the overwhelming part, but there are moments where you feel overwhelmed. I'm at the point now where it's like, this is taking a long time. And everybody gets here. I talk to Chris Downey. I talked to, JJ and Ty, and those guys concur. They're like, there's a moment when you're in this, and you just it takes a long time, and you didn't expect it going in. We talked to Bob the other day. We thought 6 months we'd be done. Such a joke.
He knew.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he knew. He knew. But he also saw that we were settling in with the process, and that we understood.
Yeah.
And we've become much more easy with the process. It does change you. So yes, as you said, I was that kid, just a kid from Jersey, but the filmmaking process does, you figure it out, and it does change you, and you get smart at it. You hope.
You'll get through it. Keep your head down. Keep driving. That's how football games are won. So.
Yeah. I like it. I love doing it. There's nothing like in the process that I dislike, except for the fact that it does take time.
I know.
But that's everybody.
Yeah.
Every work of art takes time. That's what makes it art.
Yes.
So.
And I also get the films are abandoned so much as are finished.
Yeah.
That like someone has to stop you. Right. Otherwise you will keep working. Just that one more interview, just that one more edit, just that one more cut.
Right, yeah, because it is easy to...
to not stop.
It's the fine line between perfection and... you can make it worse if you keep working.
Yes, very much so. That's true. Very much so. I think so.
Don't try to be perfect, and don't try to be good enough. Try to be really, really good. And you'll be all right.
Well, it's good. That's why deadlines are there. We're shooting for we would really like to try at least to be considered for Sundance, which means we have to have it finished by a certain date. So
good.
Yeah.
Anything I can do to help that doesn't require any effort on my part, you let me know.
Just cheerlead.
I'm
and
here.
You're already
That's
doing
all
it.
You need
and
to
give
do.
me those brining pep talks, as you said.
Yeah, that's right. I'm good for that.
When you say brine, all I can think of is brine shrimp.
No,
those little tiny
Those
Bear
are-
Sea
Bryant.
monkeys.
I only know Bear Bryant from BJ and the Bear. Nobody knows why the
Oh.
monkey's named
Bear-
Bear except me. He was named after Bear Bryant. That's why he wears that stupid hat. So there's some trivia to put in your sock and take to a bar and then forget
Yeah.
before you leave, because no girl's going to go home with you if you try to impress her with that.
A story about a man and his monkey.
What
What's
more do you
that?
want in life?
That was
Everything's better with a monkey.
That was
Oh
a
my
Jay and
God, I
Silent
love
Bob,
monkeys.
or was that? Wait,
So
which
cute. What was
was
that
that? Jay and
monkey's
Silent
name?
Bob, or was that a Dogma joke?
What was that monkey's name? Do you remember?
Suzanne.
Suzanne.
Yeah, that was Suzanne. Yes.
I had a
was
conversation with a friend
adorable.
of mine, and I go off the rails sometimes, but he was telling me, you need to be in a relationship. And I'm like, what I need is a helper monkey. And he's like, monkeys poop everywhere. I'm like, that's why my helper monkey will have his very own helper monkey to clean up after him.
But if you have an orangutan, you will not have a helper monkey.
And he says,
Really? Why?
who's going to clean up after that monkey? And I said, another helper monkey. And he's like,
Orangutan.
this is totally you desperately trying to justify having a house full of monkeys, right? And I'm like, no, helper monkeys.
See, the orangutan can have a helper monkey, and it could have a monkey. But if your helper monkey is an orangutan, your helper monkey is a member of the great ape family, and would be offended at being called a monkey.
Well, I don't think they're going to give you a
Yeah,
helper
but they
orangutan. They're huge.
Monkeys have tails.
Also, orangutans are big.
Yes, they are.
You don't want a helper orangutan that's going to climb up on your chest and feed you yogurt and grape nuts or whatever it is I eat.
I want 37 baboons.
I'm behind you on this. I support that 100%. More monkeys in the world.
37
Everything's more
because,
fun with a
hey,
monkey.
it's
I
37.
love the
And
little
baboons,
ones.
forget it. You're clearing your house.
Are those the little ones? The little...
No, the baboons are like the blue-faced, like nasty
No,
ones.
what are the
that
ones with
throw
the
their
funky-
poop and
Gene wants a spider monkey.
Are those
spider
those
monkeys are the
tiny
little ones. That's like the one in
The little one, like 5
in
or
Raiders
6.
of the Lost Ark.
Are they nice though?
Bad date.
Are they nice? Are they nice?
I don't know. Let's not be racist. Some monkeys are nice and some monkeys aren't.
Yeah,
and
but
we
that's
can't
not
judge them
racist.
based
Yes.
on
That's-
their race.
You
Are
have
they
to judge them.
nice?
Well,
It's not
is that
racist.
race or would that be their species?
Yeah,
Actually,
that's not race. That's their attitude.
Their geni,
That's their attitude. It's
their
nothing
e
to do
pluribus
with
unum
anything.
or whatever it is. I don't know their
If they have
phylum.
an attitude, I don't want it. But I really do like those little tiny monkeys. They're adorable.
So I know what Gene's getting for Christmas.
Not
oh
a
God,
monkey.
no! I don't need a monkey.
We
Leave
no
cats.
fucking a. We don't. No more animals.
Not now.
As these ones die, they will never be replaced.
Oh, but they're so sweet. We love our babies.
Yep, I'm
Don't
not saying
talk
we're going
about
to
them
kill
dying.
them. I'm not saying we're killing
No.
them.
That's a big line she suddenly crossed.
Yeah, I'm not saying we're going to snuff them out. I'm saying,
No,
but I'm just saying that as they pass, they will not be replaced.
I know.
Sorry, Fluffy, but it's into the gas chamber for you.
Yes,
No,
exactly. Oh,
stop.
there's been times when our cat, man, the one who's usually meowing, she has a stomach thing. When she vomits into the water bowl, it's like that's the time when you start thinking, maybe that is something you can put her down for.
No, you can't. It's so disgusting, but no, you can't.
Especially watching the gross food particles expand in the water.
She aims for the water bowl?
No, it's just sometimes that's...
It
usually
seems-
she just barfs it
You
right
know
back
what?
into the bowl she ate it out of.
She probably does aim for it because she's such a little bitch. She probably does.
She knows you're
probably
gonna have to clean it.
leans right over it and just heaves right in there on purpose.
I was watching Oprah. You
Meow.
changed the channel, so now you clean this up.
Meow. Bleh.
Well, it doesn't
She
matter.
does.
The worst ones... Okay, dig this. Here's the worst...
I like Gene's impression.
That's what
of
she
cat.
does. Meow.
Okay, but
bleh.
hang on. Dig this. It gets worse because the food bowls are kind of like on this tray so to keep things neat. But sometimes she'll puke and you'll hear this
Ew,
splash
stop.
as it hits the fucking tray.
Ew.
Delicious.
It is the grossest sound because it's like the wet vomit.
Our feet are like moving. It's like so gross.
And essentially, the cat is fine. They say it's in the breed.
The breed. Oh,
Yeah,
calico. That's
these
right.
calicos are weird. Like they have sensitive stomachs and shit, and so she just pukes, and then she'll eat some more, and she'll be fine. It's not like she's starving or just this
she's
thing
not.
she does.
She just doesn't like the first.
And we just have to put up with it.
Ew, it's so gross.
The Ethiopian vomiting cat.
Yeah, it's like the projectiler.
Yeah, but it's not even digested. It just puts it in her mouth and it goes.
Yeah, it's barely gone down her stomach.
But then,
She's got a first world problem. She's got
bulimia. Yeah, it is.
She is,
but she doesn't do it to
big
herself.
time.
But that's sort of like what it is. Like she'll eat
I think she is anxious.
It's like she'll eat, and some people say she eats too fast. I don't know if that's
I think
true
she has
or whatever,
anxiety.
but I'll buy that because she does. She woofs down and then she pukes.
I think she has
then
anxiety.
she gives herself a minute, and then she eats some more, and then she's fine.
I think she
you
has.
have mirrors in the house where she can see herself, and she's like, "My ass is fat." Meow.
No, listen.
No, if anything,
She-
I just compliment her all day.
I
Oh,
think
there you go.
I think she. Oh my God! Give me a
She
break.
should have very good self-esteem
Ew.
because we just praise her all day.
All right, whatever. Now I just totally lost my train. Just so gross.
That's going to happen.
Disgusting.
With her pretty white boots and her pretty
Her sexy boots.
her pretty pink mittens,
Oh God!
her little
It's
jelly beans.
so nauseating. It's so ew. Oh my God! It really is. It's
The love
so...
shown the cat.
And I was going to say something so brilliant, and now I don't remember. What
Ah, of course, those are always the best things.
Because Miss Cup now got.
You know what you need? You know, I can know how we can solve this.
Adnel Nathrak, Uth Afmeta, Datnel Lienve.
What is that?
The charm of making.
That's the charm of making. We all know that now.
Okay.
Not Gene.
Apparently not.
Now, you realize, of course, that the sword in the stone is a metaphor for making steel or making forging swords.
I always felt it was a metaphor. When he pulled the sword out, he was reborn, like pulling a penis out of a vagina. I'm not joking.
And
I always
how
felt that
ironic
was
that we
metaphor.
learned recently on Edumacation that vagina, the etymology of that word, is a sheath for a sword.
That's right.
Vagine.
Who's that
all?
writer, Clive Cussler? His hero's name is Dirk Pitt. That's totally sexually charged. Dirk is a dagger.
Yes,
and
and Pitt is a hole.
Dirk Pitt.
There's a place you
Depression.
stick it.
And his name's Dirk Pitt.
Yeah.
2 single-syllable words that means something long and sharp shoved into something shallow and, an innie and an outie is what I'm saying.
I
So
hear
There
you.
you go. If people ever wondered
Dark
how you
and
think
deep.
of names,
That's
how
what you
writers
meant.
think of names, there it is. Wieners. It's all about the wiener.
Especially if you're a male writer.
At least.
Yes.
My name is Dick Johnson.
But you can call me Richard for long.
Dirk. Who's Dirk Diggler?
That was a fake name. That was
From
a
Boogie
transformer.
Oh, Boogie Nights.
Mark.
Argy Mark.
Yes.
A
Boogie-
transformer.
Transformer.
I think we got a transformer.
Oh my God. Oh, is that you, Bumblebee? Everything sounds like he's like dumbfounded and is a question.
I know.
Yeah, he's always asking a question. no matter what.
Even when
What?
he's talking.
No. What? No.
Oh. We're going to make these movies better. That was my Boogie Nights.
Here I am making fun of that guy. He ripped a dude's ear off and is still a multimillionaire.
There you go. I did not know that.
Yeah,
Did he
used to be a
really?
drug dealer, and he ripped a guy's ear off in a drug deal gone bad. And I just try to put myself in that guy's place. I'm like, do you think this dude's sitting there with one ear eating popcorn, and all of a sudden Marky Mark comes on TV, and he's like, son of a bitch.
That's a motherfucker that... I heard... You want to talk about sour grapes? This is a weird story, but I knew a guy who knew a guy. Yeah, okay, so we'll go... That's all we have to go. Knew a guy who knew a guy. Because the reason that we won't discuss anything else is because these two guys met in a rehab. So there you go. But the one guy he was roomed with went to college with Seth MacFarlane and was his roommate in college.
No kidding.
Yeah, and so he fucking hated him. He hated Family Guy. He was a resentful fuck.
That's a lot of hate.
Seth
That dude is
MacFarlane's
pretty
success.
successful.
Really?
Exactly. Oh, yeah. So that guy burned. He probably drank himself to death over that one.
That sucks.
Seth MacFarlane fucking...
Yeah, but maybe if he was better,
Maybe if he wasn't a dick.
maybe he could have used that energy and used it in a positive way.
Yeah, turn that frown upside down.
Turn that frown upside down. Always a better way.
Started a podcast about how much he hated Seth MacFarlane.
Yes.
That would have...
Because that's a niche.
Yeah, that would have been a more positive thing to do with his hate.
Yeah. Somebody out there wants to hear that.
Yeah.
At least someone.
Yes.
I bet you Seth MacFarlane would listen to it. He probably would.
He's
and
so
would
cute.
Giggle his motherfucking ass off.
And he sings like an angel.
He sounds pretty much like anyone he wants.
He is a brilliant. He singing. Oh my god, his voice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard a story he was telling somewhere where he had a new voice coach, and he walked in and Meatloaf was walking out, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got the right guy."
Yeah, he's had the same guy for years,
very
actually, I
nice.
think. Same guy for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's someone who specializes in crooners and that kind of thing.
It's just amazing, his voice. He's adorable and
Yes.
rich and not married and single.
I'm not gonna throw the gay card,
That's what Scott says.
but I'd do him. Get a
You
chunk of money
go.
out of that. In fact, why don't I just start that rumor? He touched me. Everybody, Seth MacFarlane touched me inappropriately, and I want some money.
Do you think he's gay? Do you think Seth MacFarlane's gay?
Who, me
Listen,
personally?
here's what I think.
Do you think Seth MacFarlane
All right,
is gay?
as a bisexual man, I think the guy's gay. And there you go. So, as someone who...
He's bisexual or he's gay?
I don't know, but I think he
knows his way around a dick.
I mean, I hate to be so stereotypical, but
He's so...
he's
He loves
single.
show
He-
tunes.
He's
yeah,
so
he loves
perfect.
show tunes. He's very much into crooning. He's single.
He's so perfect.
He's our age, so he's 45. He's never been married.
He's filthy, stinking rich, and we're not
Filthy
seeing him on TMZ.
and sweet.
In the
Yeah,
midst of
that's
a
true
bunch of
too.
naked
Yeah,
women.
you don't see him you don't.
No.
And you know who else he hangs out with and is buddies with and at least gets along with show business wise? Politically incorrect. Bill Maher.
Oh, Bill Maher.
Yeah, Bill Maher. Who
Nice.
I also would, as a bisexual male.
Do you think he's gay?
My
too?
gaydar goes off with those two guys.
Yeah, but the other night, it seemed like he almost admitted
Yeah,
it.
there was that one weird joke. That was a couple weeks
Yeah.
back. That was
Yeah.
very telling.
It was.
You couldn't
It's like, ooh,
if he's
okay.
trying to not, he sort of
Yeah.
threw the gauntlet down like he was.
Right, that's what
And
I thought it
can't-
was.
I have to go back to put that joke in context, but
Yeah.
I can't now. But yeah, it
when
seems-
I look at Bill Maher, his nose looks like a dick, and I'm wondering,
Yeah.
would you want a blowjob from another guy that looks like he's got another dick poking you in your dick while he's sucking your dick? I don't know. I'm asking. I really don't know.
I
He's
mean,
got a
usually
big,
maybe the poking would
bulbous
feel
nose.
good. I don't know.
I mean, if the guy's good at sucking dick, I don't think you're gonna care what the fuck he's got on his face.
No,
But you know,
and maybe the poking would feel good.
yeah,
Or
you
his
never know.
nose.
Yeah, maybe he could poke. Maybe he could get you in the up the ass.
In a 69, yeah.
So
Oh
while
my
blowing
God.
you, if he has a big enough and hooked enough nose, he could, in theory,
Like
also fuck you
Pinocchio.
in the ass. So there you go.
That would be like a Pinocchio thing.
He wouldn't even need a finger.
He's also rich, so I just want to tell everyone he also touched me inappropriately.
Well, there you go. Yeah, but you know, until they themselves come out and say that they are, and that's sort of like a thing too. I think a lot of folks do. They don't say it. They deny nor confirm. They say it's my business kind of thing.
It
It
really
is their business, though,
It
really.
is.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
It
It's a
doesn't.
lot-
I don't care if Seth MacFarlane's got 4 wieners in his mouth. The stuff the guy does
amazing.
is
Yeah.
amazing, and he makes me laugh, and he makes me happy. So hey,
Yeah.
He's a really smart,
Yeah.
gorgeous voice.
Yeah, but the whole how I really think that you do. If you are and you don't say it, that's fine. Just don't. The weird thing is the Christian guys who like do the weird stuff and then like denounce it. You know?
Yeah, I mean that's just my personal thing. I don't like people denying.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
yourself.
And not deny, but even not only deny, but then condemn others who do what you do secretly.
Yeah, those are like the extreme douchebags.
Yeah, but there's a lot of those guys because you know what they say: you put it down, you repress it to make it so much more exciting.
Who was that comedian that was on Bill Maher the other night? That was so funny, and she said they were douchebags.
It was the one you were on the. I'm on the fence about her.
Yeah, I was.
Or you always kind of didn't like her.
Katie Griffith or something?
Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin.
Is it Griffith or Griffin?
Kathy Griffin.
Do you know who we're talking about?
I do.
The redhead
chick.
Yes.
She was
great. She was funny.
She was funny. She was.
But she called. She just said it sort of matter-of-factly. She was just talking about him because she knew him, and she's like, "No, he's kind of a douchebag, Donald Trump."
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty good.
She just took it, she just said...
I mean, seriously, you think he doesn't know? If you walked up to Donald Trump and said, "Hey, it's a real honor to meet you, but you're kind of a douchebag," don't you think he'd be go?
The honor to meet him would be... I don't know if that would come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd ever be honored to meet Donald Trump.
You gotta know he's a pompous ass.
Yeah, he really
And
is.
listen, I'm a pompous ass, but he's on a whole nother level.
Oh, yeah. No, but it's even... what I think he is a pathological liar. I don't think he really has any grasp of the truth. Like, I think he really is either sociopathic or psychopathic. But
he has the benefit of being able to create his own reality because he's had some success in business. He's got some money, so he's like, "Hey, I'm going to write a book."
So he believes his own
what
bullshit.
The best hotel is. So the best hotel is my hotel, and the best hamburger. He actually has a book like that. The best hamburger is the burger named after me in my restaurant in my hotel. He writes a book like that, and it was a New York Times bestseller.
Oh,
and I just want to walk up to him and induce vomiting on him for writing that book.
Well, you see him in like speeches where he's like says something, comes up with the most basic solution. He's like, "Hey, look at me! I just thought of that. Hey, you guys should boycott Apple. Hey, I just thought of that."
Keep doing that, boys. I love that shit. Hey, look at me over here.
Hey, yeah, that's what he's like, too.
Who is that?
Obama.
Oh, Trump.
Yeah. Obama.
I'm going to build a wall over here. I'm going to build a wall over there.
And who's going to pay for it?
Those guys.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mexico's like, we're not going to pay for your fucking wall. That was the greatest. When the president uses he not only does he use English, but he makes sure to throw in the F word.
All of the rapists are going to build the wall.
Yes. The rapists. They're rapists, and some of them are good people. I love that. It's like the back pedal.
Some of them are good people.
So he speaks in a way so as to try and cover himself legally all the time. So if someone shows him his speeches, like he could also say, "Yeah, but I also said this."
That's the worst Donald Trump impression, but I fucking love that.
It's like the dummy from school.
I honestly want Donald Trump to talk like that.
Hey, how you doing?
There you go.
So remember, send your hate mail to @ _Stormraven, I believe.
I'll take it all.
As
long as you talk to me, even if it's hate, I appreciate it.
So where can we see you next? What do you got going on? Are you doing anyone else's show?
Yeah,
soon?
whose shows have you been on?
Oh, wow. I'm like a little mini celebrity. Did another episode with the Mr. BS show.
That's out there. I know you just recently dropped one where you were sort of mixed in the shenanigans.
Yeah, I didn't know that was coming. That was when I was getting ready to record my show. Matt brought me in to the Aces and Faces LV podcast, where they were making plans to meet up in Vegas. Are you guys going there?
We're not going to meet them up this year, as far as we know. But we know they're going out there to hang out. So.
Oh, when are they doing that?
August. I think it's August 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were having a conversation. Matt brought me in early. I got to chat with all those folks, and they're great people. That's Afterburn 739 podcast, Aces and Faces LV podcast, at the Mr. BS Show podcast. All those cats were on there, and they're all good people. So I got to hang out with them, and then, Matt dropped that chunk of that. And then I did my show with them. I don't know when that's coming out, maybe 3 weeks. And our friend, Big Daddy Jimmy B, has a brand new podcast. I know you talked to him recently.
Yes, indeed.
And
He was on last
asked me
week.
to be on there, and I floated some suggestions past him, and I think people will be kind of excited with what he came up with. What the show we're going to do will be different. Be
Yeah,
outside the
fun.
box.
Cool. That's great. Yeah, I like him. I like his new show.
Me
I mean,
too.
obviously we like him. We've liked him before, but I like his new show. I like what he's doing with it.
It's a lot of fun.
So that's it. Everybody's got a podcast, even a guy like me that doesn't have a podcast.
There you go.
You know what
well,
I mean?
you know enough people with podcasts that you could just be on podcasts.
There you go.
You've really solved it. You've figured it out.
Yeah, everybody else does the hard work. I just show up, have a
Just
couple
show
beers,
up.
say stupid stuff, and leave. And now it's your problem.
God,
So
you're
That's
so
the
lucky.
life.
I want that job.
that's how guys are. You
All
know,
right.
How much effort do guys put into a pregnancy, right? 3 minutes, and a woman's got to deal with 9 months. So
That's so
Well,
true.
just remember the first word of the charm of making. If you remove the umlaut, is anal. So there you go. I'm just looking at it here, and I'm really realizing, well, wow, that's anal. So,
if that wasn't so wordy, I'd put it on a T-shirt right now.
all right, man. Thanks for
I
being
can't
on
remember what he
again.
said.
We're gonna wrap it up and land this bitch.
All
So
right, thanks for having me, guys.
why
Love you
don't-
both.
give us your
Bye.
Twitter address out there. So I know there's underscores in it. Whenever there's underscores, I let you do it.
Yeah, it's at _Stormraven_.
That's what I thought. So yeah, an
Oh,
underscore in the
at
front and the back.
underscore. At underscore.
Storm Raven.
Raven
Underscore. Or underbar, as a guy used to say. at
Storm
work.
Raven underscore or Storm
It's
underscore?
at underbar, Storm Raven underbar.
Wunderbar.
Underbar.
Underbar. All right, thanks so much, man. We very much
Bye.
appreciate you coming on again.
That's it. Just let's get Andy an award, man. He deserves
I
it. He does a
know,
lot
he
for
really
us. I want to
does.
do something for him.
Yes. Well, there you have it, everybody. It's Storm Raven. I hope you really enjoyed that segment for you. It is kind of like a weird Bill Cosby now that you say
Yeah,
it. It's
it's
like a weird guy. Can I get some roofies and put it in your drink there in your pudding pop? Then I put my pudding pop right in your mouth.
Stop it. That's not nice.
Too soon?
Oh, that's really not nice.
I'm the cause.
He's not funny at all. He's a horrible man.
I'm gonna cosplay.
I'm
I'm gonna cosplay. Yeah, we're cosplaying with the cause. I feed you some roofies and that dress up like a fucking sex offender.
Oh my god. He already does with those big sweaters that say friend on them. Or I love you, friend.
I mean,
What did I
remember,
say? Those
Jen
are
Romaro called my
very-
socks pedophile socks. So those
I know.
those are pedophile sweaters.
Those are pedophile sweaters. And Mr. Huxtable, all of those are pedophile sweaters.
Come on over and put and pop right in your puss. Sorry. Hey, have you heard?
What?
I didn't forget you, motherfucker. Sorry. Why one more callback? Yep. Hey, wow, we're doing cause jokes.
I know.
Wow. You know,
So progressive of us.
next thing I think I will be doing some Elaine Boozler material too. Stay current.
Oh, Bane, just do your own stuff. Don't do other people's material. Be your own.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed Storm Raven. We very much enjoy having him on.
We do
And
too.
it does feel like he does say like Uncle Stormy, but it does feel looser when he's on. And
It does.
You could just have a good time and kick back.
It's been a while.
Yeah, been a while. So yes, and not a lot of Batman talk, which you can. Batman content qualifies on this show, man,
It does.
because it rhymes. So that's all it takes.
Sounds like there was a lot of mixed feelings about the movie.
Yes. Tisdy Groupie calling a psychic prediction. She did one of her psychic thingies last week, but I didn't get to hear it. I have not heard back and figured out what it was because she sent me a tweet saying she that she did when she noticed this time a spooky thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That like coincided with the show.
Yeah, but I
and
have
her
not
pick?
gone back and
Oh my God.
Yeah, so she does that a lot. It's so
I know,
weird.
but it's usually like what she picks. Like it's usually pops out like right away.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
So on that note, let's end the show. Yeah. Actually, we have Tesdy Groupie, don't we?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
Hey, this does kind of bring us into
It does.
Miss Groupie and her pick of the week. Let's hope that she does some of her magic.
Miss Groupie.
All right, here she comes, Miss Tesdy Groupie and her pick of the week. Boop, 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 boop. Wop-a-da-bop, bang, bang, boom. Oh. That Man on Fat Man presents... At Tesdy Groupies. Tell 'em Steve Dave. Pick of the week.
Hi, and welcome to the TSD Pick of the Week. Little side note, this is pick number 75. Wow. For people who may not know it, I have been running the Twitter account at TSD Quotes for about 5 months now. A huge honor, but also great responsibility. Above all, a great excuse to re-listen to TSD episodes. And a historic episode full of quotable and classic moments, it's what I have chosen for this week. Because sometimes second parts are as good as first ones. Let's see it with this week's pick. TSD 13, Making Hay 2, Banned in Iraq. How to sum up a 3 hours plus long episode? Well, let's try. The show starts doing Twitter, email and shit. Comments about the origins of the phrase making hay. Girls saying how cool Walt's job is. Walt has listened for the first time to the podcast and he's touched about the guy's comments about his job and his laugh. Also, people say that they like you on the show, while Bry is still Teflon. Walt thinks this show is the greatest representation of flea markets in the history of man, and they should make a documentary. So, the auction talks goes on, with Walt telling that he ate a slice of pizza at Collingwood, which prompts Q to make a comment he would soon regret. The guys talk after this about the psychic, Madame Sharon, who does a Q's tarot reading. Walt talks about his wife and him, and the time they met, and how he cultivated him, before asking Bry to help him move a couch. So, the guys move on, and meet Frank number 1, who doesn't want to give an interview, but gives the guy plenty of material, like Walmart reader talk. He also directs the guys to another vendor, also named Frank, therefore called Frank number 2 on the pod, who has a revelation the guys would never have thought of. Lots of things. A long episode that I can't stop if it starts playing. And after many re-listens, I still love it. Because you know, you're gonna have a great time. So, I hope you re-listen to it, I hope you enjoy it, and yo all the way.
And there you have Mr. I'm sorry, I won't do that. Should I declare a moratorium on that?
Oh, I hate it so much.
On the couch, we advise.
There's too much just like drooling.
Juice?
Yeah, there's
Too
too
much wetness?
phlegm going on. Yeah.
There we have Miss Tesdy Groupie's pick of the week.
Yes.
In my dulcet tones.
Yes, so much better.
Let me see if I can get into my Howard mode here.
Okay, try.
Howard. Hey,
Do you
Robin.
want me to talk
Hey,
to you?
hey,
Hi,
Robin.
how you doing?
What were some of my lines? I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but you shouldn't be saying
Movie making. I remember the word movie making.
Movie making.
Yes. And I know that I was talking to a film director in the movie as well.
Yes.
And he would be Robert Rodriguez. See,
Ah.
I'm putting on too much of an affect. The
Yeah.
key was really just dropping my voice and trying not
That's
to
better right there. Like what
trying
you're
not to
doing, yeah.
put on an affect. I
Yes.
got more in the zone. Robin.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Mama.
That's my whole Howard
It was
Stern
that
impression right
Mama
there.
Like a Boo Boo Day.
Robin. That's it. There you go.
What was that? What was the weather lady's name? Mama Like a Boo Boo Day.
No, that was the The Weatherman.
The Weatherman?
Yeah.
Mama like a boo-boo day.
Yeah, which, like, I wonder if he would still do that today. You know, but he does. He does make some, like, just shock value jokes.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a shock jock.
Yeah, which you never hear anymore.
No, that's an annoying term.
No, because there are no shock jocks anymore. Because they've all come here.
Yep.
To the internet. Where they can be as shocking as they want.
They're shock podcasts.
Or they could be like Lionel. They could just talk and talk and talk and never really say anything.
Lionel, you just...
I love Lionel. Love Lionel. But you got... I found it so hilarious listening to Lionel when he calls fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson a verbose blowhard or whatever. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute here. The pot is calling the kettle black. And I'll give you one other thing. At least Neil deGrasse Tyson gets to his point. I can't tell you how many of Lionel's podcasts are half-hour wind-ups to no delivery.
I know.
You know, they're just wind-ups of him like bitching and jumping and like where the or else should be. There's nothing.
He's venting.
Yes. I love him. I listen every week,
snippets.
So can't be mad. Don't be mad at me. I'm just giving you some feedback here, sir.
They're just little snippets of what he's thinking.
That's the one thing I did want to say. So when we saw Bob,
yes,
like we gave him a card for his birthday because his birthday was recently, and I wrote "Happy Birthday, Sir."
All right.
And he said, "You wrote Sir in the card."
Right.
So did Kevin.
Kevin's a big Sir guy.
Yeah, and I said, "Well," he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, that's a." I mean, Sir is a term of respect in general, but among the Kevin Smith, people, Sir means you're special. So when usually you use that term with someone you care about, or you have respect for or like. So I said, "Of course, we're a weird bunch." Sir. All right, I think we can cut out of here now, right? We can.
I think so.
Next week, please, if you're doing a theme for this mailbag thing, please, next week we're going to kick this sucker off. If I don't get one, I'm going to pull one and make it myself. And so.
But we'd like to have yours.
And remember, send us questions, send us whatever you care to know. Relationship questions are good. I suggested that because
those are fun.
We've been together a long time.
We have a lot to say.
Yes, we're idiots.
We are idiots.
We could give you advice that you'd be crazy to follow.
Yeah.
Or good advice.
Or
actually what we'll do is we'll tell you what our experience was.
Yes.
Because giving advice is the worst thing you can ever do. Because when you give someone advice, they kind of try and make you accountable.
You told me to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what you do,
I didn't tell you to do that.
The best advice you can give someone is just tell them what you did.
A story of how you accomplished something
Yep. So they can infer from that whatever they want.
The situation, right.
All you did was tell them
the
what
situation
you did.
tells the story. Yeah.
See, some of those 12-step groups aren't too dumb.
Experience, strength, and hope.
Yeah. They know what they're talking about.
Experience, strength, and hope.
But they also know, because they know that if you give someone advice, you inherit a piece of accountability.
Right.
Even if you don't, you can become that person's excuse. All right. Well, folks, don't make excuses. Just go out there and do it. Whatever that it is. Look at all the, like what Storm Raven was saying. Look at all these fucking podcasts that are springing up everywhere.
You could do one too if you want.
Yeah, you may as well. Why not? You could use them. They give you order in your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a religion. The Church of Pod.
And you can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
We are pod people. Yeah.
With
with
whomever you want to talk about it with.
It's a way to sort of have a weekly gathering with some friends, or bi-weekly, whatever the case may be. It's a way to. So we encourage you to go out there and start another podcast.
Your own.
Yes. And hey, if you start it soon, you might be in a movie. Who the fuck knows? Especially if it's genius.
Yes.
But until then, you're smart and you're good, and I want to get out of here because I'm tired.
Bye, guys.
Ladies.
Bye.
We love y'all. Thanks so much for all your stuff and nonsense and craziness and... Oh, yeah. we will see you next week.
Or perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane.
One by one and smirking like a thief, sleeping through another night and deepening our peace. Genesis and matter's wake is coming from our sun, living in this very moment, for this moment's done. But now I see the dawn will come and we are crazy dreams and nonsense schemes, the Godhead in the skies. Powers from our Mother Earth is all we'll ever be. All our souls do bind as one. Come join us if you please, if you please. As we worship at our shrine, bursting flowers into bloom, there's no such thing as time. Powers from our Mother Earth will blow us to our knees. Twisting, turning minds are burning, join us if you please. And now I see that I am just beginning its demise. Flashing bits of comic light that vanish from the skies. Powers from our Mother Earth is all we'll ever be. All our souls to bind as one. Come join us if you please. If you please. If you please. If you please.
There he is. It's that man standing over Blood Alley Square, protecting us all. Go get him, that man.
Hey, everybody. I hate to interrupt, but I want to take a moment to talk to you about Patreon. What is Patreon? Patreon is a startup-type service. This one caters to ongoing projects. It is for the video bloggers, the podcasters, the bloggers who regularly provide content to an audience out there. And if the audience chooses to, they can support their the shows they listen to that are members of Patreon. That Man on Fat Man is on Patreon. And if you would like to help us to offset the costs that we incur on this show, it also helps expand our abilities. For instance, SoundCloud, as a result of folks helping us out on Patreon. You are helping to grow the show. And for that, we try and provide our Patreon listeners with special bonuses, special shows in advance that they can hear prior, just special videos, things like that. We try. It's more ad hoc. It's more seat of the pants, but I think the listeners out there are happy with them. No one's complained yet. We're not talking a lot of money here. We're talking like $2 a month, $4 a month. And where can you find us? Very simple. Go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/thatmanonfatman. Or you can go to thatmanonfatman.com and click on the link on the right side of the screen that says Become a Patron on Patreon.
And now Nathrak, Uth Half Beta, Dat Nel the Envy.